strangely interesting to me to observe myself, but especially this point I'm at where I've actually geared up, trained up, built 3 websites, know how to do all the tech stuff, got all the gear, spent the past 4 or 5 months kind of getting comfortable being on camera and publishing and editing videos, publishing, editing, and publishing. And, got a flow going, and there's absolutely many things that could be better: lighting, camera, microphone, editing things, all that stuff. Uh, but actually, in that lack of perfection with all that, that's been kind of intentional in that it's been about not being perfect and it not even being for any specific agenda of trying to come across in a certain way. And I'm glad I've done it. It has benefited me. It's been like a kind of therapy where I'm, instead of talking to a friend or a therapist, I'm talking to myself in a way that normally we don't talk to ourselves, which is just internal. Similar to journaling, but actually it's a little more compelling. It's a little more vivid. And there's also this feeling of potentially being seen and heard by other people, which is what is meaningful for us. And I think it is meaningful for me, because I've been isolated kind of my whole life. Felt misunderstood, um, and then also in my natal chart in my seventh house, I have both the ruler of my ascendant and the ruler of my sun sign, so Mars and Saturn, in my seventh house in Cancer. So I have this need. I have this need to be seen and heard and have an impact on other people. Um, at least from that astrological point. But an interesting thing is that, and this has kind of always been the case to some degree too, but now I'm really feeling it, is I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like I, I'm not motivated to build a website. I'm not motivated to build a business. I'm not motivated to do videos or like, there's sometimes I want to write about things like this. I have this kind of morning routine. I don't do it every morning. Some days I just don't feel the desire, but um, it's like meditate, read, write, drink coffee for the first like 3 hours of the day. Actually, today I woke up at I think 4:30, so it was probably like the first 6 hours of the day or something. Um, as far as the agenda of this world and the values of our society, and I'm getting nothing accomplished. Like, as based on that normal thing. I'm not working, I'm not producing anything. But I have been meditating a lot, and I have been really dialing in this meditation that is a non dual um, Ramana, Maharshi, Nisargadatta, Advaita Vedanta um, style of meditation, which is difficult to describe. I think they both do it well. Um, I don't even want to attempt to. It's just recognizing self, which is not this body, which is not anything to do with the thoughts and the stories and all that stuff um, that we normally think of as ourself. So it's stopping thought. It's just, well, again, it's not, it can also be just like observing the thought, but not adding to it at all, which is normal with meditation. I guess I'm having a hard time describing it because I'm doing my own thing, which is a little bit of a few things. For example, if I'm sitting and I'm listening to one of their audios, YouTube listening, then I'm kind of more closely following that. Um, or if I'm just listening to some kind of meditative music, then I'm doing something slightly different. If I'm out walking, if there's no music on, I'm just sitting. If I've got my eyes open, if I've got my eyes closed. The whole point is recognizing that that self is ever present and that awareness is ever present. And the thoughts and the things are not real. They have no lasting reality. They don't have even um, a consistent reality. That all this world of thoughts and things is really just a dream. It's not real. And the only reality is the awareness that gives all of that its reality, its relative reality, that it's what's observing everything. It doesn't change, it doesn't think. The mind is just disturbance. The thoughts are really just a disturbance of the mind, and the mind at rest doesn't have any existence. There is just the self, and the self is known when there's no thoughts. The self is observed, perceived most clearly when there's no thoughts. And I'm getting good at this. Of course, it's in and out. It's like got it and then not got it. And I think it's probably something that takes the rest of one's life. Um, Noisy neighbors. But it gives me this like awareness, feeling of peace and like humor. I don't know what's going on. There's something happening. Somebody's, it's like 8:30 at night and somebody's doing construction. That that everything is kind of like it's it's ridiculous and it is very dreamlike. It's very surreal. And I'm over it. I mean, I'm over being attached to it. And it's very interesting kind of going in and out of it because we so easily slip into routine about things and those thoughts which are just routine. And I've been like extracting things from my life. I've been so I have all this kind of spaciousness. But now it's like I'm continuing to look at like what can I get rid of? What can I remove from my life to make it e- even more um, spacious? I I think the thing is, I don't. I know the answer isn't like that. I actually don't need to. But what I'm noticing is like that when I'm in that place, I'm like, wow, there's so much unnecessary stuff. There's so much unnecessary stuff. And what I want is just simplicity and just being able to stay in that state of awareness of self, uncluttered, peaceful, and effortless. It's it's interesting because it's so stark, right? It's completely empty. And the qualities there's no qualities to it other than this awareness, this consciousness that is not the same. It's not just identified as me. I mean, it's not identified as Jesse or this body. It is bigger than that. It seems kind of pointless to even describe it. And when I listen to these teachings of Ramana, Ramana Maharishi, and Nisargadatta, I wonder how they can even describe what they're describing when they're also saying like nothing means anything and don't think about anything. It's like, so why are you teaching anybody anything then? It's obviously, I've still got a long way to go to understand it. Then again, who knows? It's already it's already present. It's already done. But once again, I kind of don't know what to do with myself. I mean, I do know what I want to do with myself, which is nothing. Like, there's no appeal to anything. There's no appeal to anything other than, say, being in nature. Like, meditating in nature, in the sun. That's like all I want to do. I spend I spend hours just like sitting in a comfy chair beside a heater, meditating. And it's like the highlight of my life. And everything else, like when I think about when I go out to see other people and think about other things, look at social media, what other people are doing, it's all noise. It's all noise, and there's no appeal to it. There's not, I have no interest in it. And I just see people lost in the matrix, lost in the collective dream of samsara. And I've been there too. I've been sucked into it all, and I've been miserable because of it. So I'd much rather be where I am right now, which is carefree, like peaceful, like just enjoying the moment, just enjoying the simplicity of things. And that's the thing too, is like it's not it's not like it's not really like I want to run away from anything, but it's just like, for example, my home, even though it's, well, it feels cluttered. Feels like I got too much stuff. I mean, I go through this kind of thing where I feel like I just want this like minimal almost austere environment. And then, of course, I'll go through other phases where I'm like buying shit and I'm scheming and whatever. But less and less. I am wanting simpler and simpler and less all the time. And right now, I'm really feeling that. Like, if I didn't live in Canada, if I lived somewhere warmer, I would seriously consider living in my vehicle and just driving here and there and finding parks to meditate in and just being like a hobo mystic yogi. Apparently, people did that back in the day. Baking in warmer climates, though. I don't know. Maybe if I really dial it in, I can just use some yogic breathing to keep myself warm and contented in any environment. Anyways, that's where we're at. February 5th, on the verge of feels like it could be the end of the world and people are panicking and I'm like, bring it. I'm ready. I've been preparing for years. I'm ready. Oh, peace.